Hi again, it's me. I am reviewing A Kind of Intimacy by Jenn Ashworth. I was in the bookstore 2 weeks ago, and I was just I didn't really have anything particular in mind. I was just kind of wandering around, and I found this, which the cover is what attracted me. It was under a section of, I think, like, breakout authors or something like that. So I saw the cover, and I was really drawn in by the cover. Picked it up, read the description, and I was like, wow, this sounds cool. It's basically about a woman who, moves in to a new house, new neighbors, and develops a crush on her next door neighbor, who she thinks he has a thing for her too, and she thinks that they have a special connection, which he really doesn't. He has a girlfriend that lives with him. They've been together for a year. It's more of a serious relationship. He's just being neighborly to Annie, who's the main character, but Annie is kind of needy, and she's had a really rough history, really rough past, so she starts to get this idea in her head that, you know, they're going to be together and they have a special connection and they're going to run away together. And the girlfriend, Neil's girlfriend, Neil is the neighbor. His girlfriend's name is Lucy. Lucy's gonna get dumped, and yeah. What I really liked about this book, the book itself, not the actual story, but the book, is the paper. It's really thick and it's got this nice texture to it. It's just to hold it in my hands and read it was enjoyable. I think my nose is running. It's really cold out here. Ignore me. So yeah, that was really cool. What was really interesting about this book as well was that this is actually Jenn Ashworth's first novel. And reading it, you would never know it. You would think that she writes novels every day and that she eats them for breakfast. I'm serious. This book is so good. It's creepy good. Like, for example, because you're following this character, and you're following her downfall, and you're in her head with her, and it's just amazing, the ride. It's scary. It's scary because you can identify with her so much, and it's scary because you're watching this character go absolutely crazy, little by little. Like, at first, it doesn't even seem like she's crazy. I mean, you know that she's crazy from the description of the book, but you're like, oh, okay, I can understand that. I've had a crush on someone and thought they liked me back too, right? But it's just so good. She does this so well. She shows this character's downward spiral perfectly. And this character has such a horrible history. You can't help but feel bad for her. She got married at a young age. Her husband just wanted a wife, you know, to stay home and have a baby and not be anybody. So she was so young, and she didn't really have much of a home life because her mom died and her dad didn't really care about her, that she was like, okay, I'm going to get married. Yay. Then the baby dies. Her old best friend, she loses touch with him. He comes back. They have a one-night stand. She thinks that he's going to, you know, come back for her and that she's going to be able to leave her husband. He never comes back, you know, even though they actually do have a connection and they are both in love with each other. He never comes back. So she ends up just really alone, and by the time she moves into the new house by herself, we don't really know why she's by herself yet, but we know little bits and pieces. We know that she lost her baby, and we know that she had this best friend that really loved her, and that she really, you know, wants him. So by the time she moves into this new neighborhood, she's so alone and so messed up from everything that's happened to her that, you know, she ends up snapping. And later on we find out, and if you haven't read it, this is the part where you go away and then come back after you read it. Then we find out later on that she had actually killed her husband, and not because, as it hints in the book, it kind of hints that she was abused by him. It actually turns out that she was not abused by him, and she kind of just snaps because the baby is dead, and he still wants to treat her the way he's always treated her. And she just kind of snaps because she's like, why does he not understand that I don't want this? I don't want to be the stay-at-home housewife. And she, instead of talking to him and, you know, reaching out for help, she just snaps and she kills him. Which, that's the other thing, this whole time, you really, if if she'd reached out once, or if someone had stepped in once to really help her, none of the bad things that happened would have happened. I mean, her daughter probably would have still died because it was sudden infant death syndrome, which just happens. But things wouldn't have escalated as far as they escalated. So it's a really good read. I'm dying for her next book to come out, Jenn Ashworth. She's actually working on it now, and I was actually on Twitter the other day, and I told her how much I was enjoying the book, and she was like, thank you. So it was nice to chat with her even a little bit. But I'm dying for her next book to come out because she's just an amazing writer. Like, I can't think of any other writer that their first novel was this good. There's even some writers where their 12th novel isn't this good. So, if you haven't read it, pick it up, read it. If you've read it, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time.